I think a lot has been discussed about the deep tech since morning actually, and I'm here to present few things about the role of ASSOCHAM IPFC specifically in the innovation ecosystem. ASSOCHAM has been one of the, I would say, partners for the, the L2 Pro platform basically, and that's where the association with Qualcomm started, for L2 Pro. Rather, ASSOCHAM has been involved with L2 Pro since its inception in the very first year as such. Let me share my screen and take you through what we have to offer as ASSOCHAM IPFC basically. I'm also gonna cover some of the best practices in innovation, IP incubation, and startup ecosystem basically as well. Of course, it's just a 15-20 minute talk wherein I'll discuss about how these things are connected, to each other, as well as how ASSOCHAM has been contributing, or ASSOCHAM IPFC specifically have been contributing in terms of the entire IP ecosystem. So basically, ASSOCHAM IP Facilitation Center, which has been supported by the Ministry of MSME, Government of India, has been involved into various activities, ground level activities with respect to advocacy, capacity building, outreach, tech transfer, and handholding to innovators, including the startups and incubation centers. When I say, we are doing it at ground level, it means actually we are reaching out to the end users pan India basically, with a lot of I would say offline programs. Actually, I'll discuss few of these which have been run by the ASSOCHAM IPFC. At ASSOCHAM, we have two intellectual property facilitation centers. One is in New Delhi and Bangalore. Second one is Bangalore. It's kind of covering both the southern and the northern India, and but then the mandate is to help out MSMEs as well as startups pan India, and we have been doing it almost since last 5 years with respect to ground level activities. I've got this picture from a recent activity that we did in Ahmedabad, wherein it was about the Bharat GI Mahotsav, which has been run in I would say association with Ministry of MSME. One of the biggest challenges with respect to IP ecosystem has been with respect to commercialization of IP. We think of I would say ideas, innovation, incubation, funding, startups, but at the end what matters is the, I would say, the commercialization basically. The Bharat GI Mahotsav is a unique platform wherein the artisans, end users of the GIs are given a some kind of opportunity to sell their product basically. It's like a kind of a exhibition for GI authorized products, and uh, every entire, I would say, funding for this has been provided by Ministry of MSME. All these end users, the artisans, not the traders, are given an opportunity to actually commercialize their product. So the Bharat GI Mahotsav in Ahmedabad was for 4 days, wherein our honorable CGPDTM Professor Dr. Unnat Pandit inaugurated that particular festival basically, or the Bharat GI Mahotsav. This has been our kind of heritage of India, and GI being a part of IP, ASSOCHAM has been intensively involved into similar activities actually, and every year at least one or two the GI Mahotsav have been being conducted by ASSOCHAM. Second, again, I would say one of these ground level activities being done locally, offline, at various universities, which is completely sponsored by Ministry of MSME. In this, covering from basics of IP to IP commercialization, valuations, the various schemes by the ministries basically, or the funding, it covers from your Kapila to the MSME innovative I would say schemes basically. coming down to your location, how ASSOCHAM has been doing this is like, well, honestly, we're reaching more than 25 states in last 4 or 5 years. These are like 2 to 4 hours workshops basically, which are being done by the experts, wherein the experts are reaching out again to the universities, to the individual institutions, they are tech-based institutions, science colleges. So it is to improve the level innovation ecosystem that we have actually, because the requirement at one place, I can see a lot of students or the faculty joining from a place like Solapur in Maharashtra, let's say. Now the local requirements at that location basically would be very different. They may have access to certain things, but may not have access to the rest of the things basically. So we are trying to customize these programs as per the local conditions. Last 4 years, done more than 500, I would say, kind of programs similar to this, actually, by the both the I would say the ASSOCHAM IPFCs, basically, the Intellectual Property Facilitation Center from Kerala, Tamil Nadu to Himachal Pradesh, from Gujarat to Assam, Tripura. We have been under the banner of ASSOCHAM or ASSOCHAM IPFC. We are reaching to the end users basically. Another wonderful initiative again by the Ministry of MSME is the concept called as National IP Yatra, Intellectual Property Yatra. Again, 2 days events wherein we have a lot of speakers from the innovation incubation ecosystem, basically reaching out at ground levels, and understanding the local requirements, as well as providing them the updates about the entire IP ecosystem we have. I can cite an example. For example, when we reached Ranchi in Jharkhand this year, which was part of 24-25, that point of time, that was, I would say, one of the best support system we got there. And everyone at I would say Ranchi needed to understand what is IP. They were very happy to see that the various attorneys, people from government, people from industries, as well as academia are at the same place. This one picture that I have is for the last IP Yatra that we did in Mysore, Karnataka, in the month of December 2026, 2025 actually. And ASSOCHAM IPFC, ASSOCHAM has been doing this in collaboration with Ministry of MSMEs. And we are open for conducting similar programs at ground level anywhere in India. As I said, we did it at Siliguri in West Bengal. We did it at Triple IT Bhagalpur in Bihar. We did a lot of programs within UP. We reached Jalandhar, we reached Shimla, we reached Kurukshetra, we actually reached to Jaipur. In Vadodara, we did the program. Bhopal, we did the program. We are reaching pan India, you name, and if there is a requirement, just drop an email, and probably we'll have to work it out when and how actually, and what is that program that suits the requirement there. So for example, if you have a good ecosystem, or therein we may have depending on the numbers, actually, in terms of the educational institutions, the startup, the incubation centers, we can have the 2 days national IP Yatra. If not, if it's a very small place, we have reached to the tehsil place with respect to these programs, which were the MSM, IP awareness program, basically for MSME and startups, which are 2 to 4 hours programs actually. Lot has been discussed about L2 Pro. Actually, I think I'll skip because these are the slides which Niveta had, and this is the certification for L2 Pro. ASSOCHAM IPFC has been involved into promoting L2 Pro as well. We also did a couple of, again, the offline programs. One in one was done in Mumbai, actually, with one of the universities, the offline program actually, and the other one was in the Raipur, Chhattisgarh last year as such. So we are so ASSOCHAM IPFC or ASSOCHAM's role has been to help the entire ecosystem basically. And I have been working as an advisor, again working from a very small town in Maharashtra, but then trying to help the entire ecosystems basically to get benefited. I'm gonna discuss about this MSME innovative scheme, which has been a flagship scheme by the Ministry of MSME for the innovation. So it has specifically three components. Even the HIs or the HEIs, what we call higher educational institutions, they also get benefited through this specific scheme as such. You have to onboard yourself as a HEI, and then you have some continuous kind of funding coming from the Ministry of MSME basically. uh, See, IP doesn't work in isolation. What is required is the incubation component, the design component, or the IP component. Gone are the days when IP was in isolation. When I started my career 20 years back, that point of time patent was IP. But today when we think of IP, it's an entire ecosystem. The kind of presentation we had by Niveta, a few minutes back, basically, it speaks of the entire ecosystem joined together and giving you, I would say, the kind of benefits at the end of the day, be it the research, be it the incubation, be it the technology, be it deep tech, any kind of technology, basically. And IP cannot be in isolation, basically. At the end, from the ideation to commercialization, everything is linked basically. And this is one of those wonderful schemes wherein any MSME or individual can reach the HEIs basically. There are funds in MSME innovative. There are multiple schemes wherein there are fundings. These are complete grants. There is no requirement of diluting your equity actually, or any kind of, it's not a debt basically. So these are grants basically. Depending on the tech, depending on the technology or the requirement actually, uh, we you can have benefits of only incubation, let's say, or only design, or only IP, any combo basically, maybe all three, any two, depending on your requirement, you can get benefited basically. So you have I have just included two of these components of this scheme basically, wherein one of these is technology related expenses like machine uses, electricity, procurement of raw material up to 10 lakh, mentorship charges of 3 lakhs, and traveling expenses up to 2 lakhs, 15 lakhs. Requirement is simple: need to be an MSME. You need to have MSME Udyog Aadhar certificate, actually, or what we also call it as a Udyam certificate, basically. Right. So this is one of those flagship schemes of the Ministry of MSME, and wherein it is helping. So if you look at this, this scheme is more about tech only, right? And then we have another scheme wherein the under this particular scheme you have a financial assistance of up to 5 lakh rupees for a foreign patent, for a domestic patent 1 lakh, GI registration 2 lakh, design registration 15,000, and trademark 10,000. Okay, the best part of the scheme, you don't need a mediator to get benefited for this particular scheme. This particular scheme is based on you can actually connect to the MSME innovative portal. If you have a Udyog Aadhar or Udyam, you can directly get benefited. So it's a OTP based, or you can register your MSME. Even I believe the individual startups in any of the domains, you can speak with your CS or CA and get a MSME Udyam certificate basically, actually, right? And at that point of time, you, based on that OTP, you need to upload the documents, which are, only thing is, this is a reimbursement. That means once a patent gets granted, you need to upload all the invoices. The best part of this scheme is this also includes the charges of attorneys as well. So the design registration 15,000, GI registration 2 lakh, domestic patent 1 lakh. and foreign patent for 5 lakh actually. So that's all about the activities that are being, I would say, done under the banner of ASSOCHAM or ASSOCHAM IPFC. Let me also, since this is a particular platform wherein we are discussing or connecting with the students and faculty members and startups, I have few slides based on my experience. I'm associated with ASSOCHAM as an advisor since last 8 years now, reaching more than 30 states at the ground level. I'm telling you how we can actually execute few of the things at the ground level, at the educational institution level. First, and these are some of the best practices actually. I don't know whether it's there now, but then few years back it was like IIT Delhi allowed PhD for startups registered. Then you can actually have a IP cell establishment. We work with few of the institution wherein every master's or PhD thesis goes through IP cell. There are certain institutions which are providing monetary financial benefits to the faculties and students based on the grant of patents, as well as based on research papers, of course, of a certain impact factor. Basically, these are some of the, I would say, ground level, I would say, schemes or which have been used for promotion of innovation basically. Now, idea generation, again, a fundamental. I have got couple of things which every one of you for sure would like. Actually, these ideas, we have the complaint boxes at our institution or at our setups basically. One of these universities in Chandigarh, when I had this opportunity to visit Chitkara University, they have a wonderful concept called innovation dropbox. Now, what is innovation Dropbox? What is the cost required? It's just 500 or 1000 rupees to create this kind of Dropbox. The idea herein is the students, at your campus, at your university, actually, I would say, can come up with any ideas, put the idea along with their name, and there is a committee, internal committee. Okay, it is not necessary that if I am from electronics engineering, my idea should be only restricted to electronics engineering, right? They can come up with any idea. Let a commit. The committee is not just a committee of academicians. They are IP professional. There are funding agencies, investors, what is required for this idea to to get executed basically. Does it need funding? Every idea doesn't need funding. Does it need incubation? You need to, I would say, I would say, understand it based on the idea actually. Every idea may not need funding for sure. We know it really well, right? Now, this way every idea gets its benefit basically, and it is evaluated. Now, this again is something which is working at the ground level at your institution. I can see some of these names, Gyanamani College of Technology, or any other institution pan India. We can execute it. We can at least. And what happens basically with these kind of concepts of idea generation is, at least students understand, because the session may not motivate them, but when they see it every day, okay, this is a concept, we have to think in this direction as well. Can we have some idea? The ideas are hidden, they can come up upfront basically. That's I would say one of those wonderful concept. Another concept, I would say, is about the hackathons, annual events, and competitions that we have at every institute. What are we doing with these hackathons? These hackathons, the annual events or competitions or the festivals, are ending up with certificate, maybe a trophy, some cash money. Can we allow these students to actually be part of the campus? And we, they used to call it as a campus connect, wherein this particular university is allowing the students to utilize the entire campus as a kind of a market for them. Like, for example, at a university, if you have 3000 students and the product is with respect to, let's say, food technology, they are allowing the students to use that as a, like, kind of for your POC, or maybe whatever you call it in your language, basically tech language. But can we allow our students to utilize that campus? Wonderful. I think that is working well with the students, basically, because the campus is not just providing them a opportunity to present, but it is also helping them commercialize the product. Ground level commercialization. The problem for commercialization is very different compared to actually ideation and getting an IP file. You have a smart attorney and it is very easy to get IP. Actually, I'm telling you this. It is never about whether you have an IP or not. It is always about what kind of protection you have. It is always about, can you commercialize it, the product, basically, and what are the real challenges while commercializing the product, basically, or maybe a service for that sake. Of course, lot has been discussed about the concept of incubation centers, the, or maybe the pre-incubation centers as well. That's something which you can have as an institute or as a university, for sure. I spoke about the campus connects. A lot of students ask these questions about whether I should start my own venture, whether I should have my own startup, basically. That's a wonderful idea. But before that, I would recommend, and this is a strong recommendation, to do internship. Whatever, if you want to develop something at deep tech, go work with some deep tech startup. Try to understand what the problem they are solving. What is that one thing that what are their ground daily activities? Where are they firefighting every day? Because that would help you imbibe those things, and then you start actually your own journey, basically. Since morning I have been following the Turnip Innovation YouTube channel and listening to a lot of I would say the good speakers, as well as a lot of questions I could see, actually, but then these are the some problems which are ground level at the institute level. A research student filing a patent without informing the institute. What's the solution? Ex-employee leaving organization, taking research know-how, publishing a research paper with new institute or organization. What's the solution? A professor files a patent application, institute provides funding, invention gets commercialized. Who would take the licensing fee? The institute, the professor, the or the student? Because as long as I think one of the previous speakers spoke, when there is a success, everyone wants to be part of that success, basically, as such. Or at the institute level, the how are we dealing with the concepts of conflict of interest, basically? For example, a mechanical engineering professor beyond office hours provides consultancy, develop IP. Who does the institute have any legal right over it? A pharmacy professor beyond office hours provides consultancy and comes up with something in telecom. Does the institute have any legal right? Okay, the answer to all of this probably lies in a concept called as the IPR policy. Again, this has to be customized, because what is the requirement at your university, at your institution, at your college, basically, that is something needed to be understood. There cannot be IIT Delhi does it, IIT Chennai does it, fine. The ecosystem there in it is different, basically. The ecosystem that is required for us at your institute may be in a place like Warangal, may it be at a let's say the place like Kannur, or maybe a place like where I am right now, Latur in Maharashtra. The ecosystems are different. We need different answers actually for that, and I think the IP policy need to be customized, and the IP policy, I would say, would kind of solve all these problems, actually. So thank you so much, Dr. Rahul, for providing this wonderful opportunity for me to present at this forum. Thank you so much, Turn IP, as well as ASSOCHAM IPFC. I'll be happy to answer if there are any specific questions, or I'll be happy to connect with the students and the faculties if they need any assistance from ASSOCHAM or ASSOCHAM IPFC. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your valuable insights. I really enjoyed it myself. I'm also happy to partner with ASSOCHAM if they want to conduct IPFC, IP Yatra in Kolkata, or just in general even promoting initiatives because Turnip has a very big audience now,
Yeah,
and even I can contribute. I can speak. So for my,
for
I mean,
sure.
obviously Turnip is also available in that
Yes,
sense.
yes, yes.
Let's give audience 2 minutes if they have any questions. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of support actually. We need people who will do things. Because you should not start with support that okay there's support and only then you will start. I mean, you have to do things as per usual, and then there's this MSME innovative. Maybe you spend 1 lakh rupees for filing a patent, and then you get lucky and you get the reimbursement from the MSME innovative scheme. But don't say that we will only do it if we get funding, or we will only do it. So a real entrepreneur is actually doing first and then asking. So that's the message. I mean, I will say that there is so much support. Incubating centers are actually on the rise. If you think about the macroeconomic way in which India is looking at innovation, incubation centers will be a big part of next 20 years, 40 years. And incubation centers are also learning. They are learning from their mistakes in the last 10 years, that
Absolutely.
this is not working, so let's do this. So this scheme did not work, did not give intended results, so they are doing some things. Okay, one question is there. If I file utility patent and is characterized by in chemical patent, can I change it to electronics or any other department?
Wow, I think it's all about the kind of docketing system or the internal patent office system, basically, how they categorize it for the allocation for the examination, basically.
Yeah.
I think, Abhilash, I'm not sure whether it can be. I mean, it is feasible per se, but then maybe it's at the internal patent office ecosystem. Maybe you can drop a mail to patent office and just check if it
Hmm.
can work. But then frankly speaking, it's not beyond, not in the control of any of the attorneys or anyone. I think it's the internal patent office, government of India ecosystem is called. Yeah,
Yeah, I cannot answer this. I will not say anything.
yeah,
I mean, I will say one thing that you should think of filing more patents. I mean, we are thinking that we have filed a patent, but if you think about patent strategy of the mature companies who have done it for 40 years, they don't think of just filing one patent. They think of creating a portfolio. They think of filing auxiliary features of the product, because innovation is not like just one thing doesn't create innovation. Many things come together, and uh, so if you are into electric batteries, there are so many things. The battery has to be installed in some place, say a moving vehicle. There is problem of vibration, there's problem of overheating, there's problem of the environment, moisture, rain, sunlight. So many new things can be done around that battery to create 10 patents out of your solution. So don't just, if you have one patent in one field, just file another patent with another field, and create a holistic portfolio which is more valuable. One more question, Sumit Gupta: whom to approach first with an innovative idea in case institute does not provide financial help for filing patent?
Uh, okay, that's an interesting question because I think most of the times the one of the biggest hindrance for filing patent is with respect to the funding, actually, right? As I discussed in my slides, need to have some IP policy at the institutional level, which also determines who is going to fund it as well, right? Now, if you are a student or faculty, I think the NEP now allows you to have your own ventures as a startup or as a MSME. Let's say, if you have a registered startup, Government of India also has a SIPP scheme. You can connect to the patent office actually directly, and therein you don't need to pay. Actually, what you need to pay is just the cost, that is 1,600 rupees for the patent filing, 2,500 for early publication, and 4,000 for the examination fees. Everything else is being taken care by the patent office or government of India itself. They pay the attorneys basically. For
Hmm.
that reason, what you can do is you can just check the list of SIPP facilitators. The patent office has this list, in fact, and the best part of it is you can search the attorneys based on the technology area and the location as well. You, along with their phone numbers, the list is available. You just approach them, but the only condition therein is that you need to have a DPIIT registered startup certificate. If you have that, and then I think your job is done. I think that's how I can actually answer this specific question, from Sumit Gupta. Yeah,
Great. Uh, so, Madhu, Rayan, thank you. I want support as I have no funding. I am very lucky that I received a patent after 8 years on anti-cancerous drug Taxol preparation.
it seems
Okay.
it's an anti-cancer drug. Okay, I belong to pharma industry. I understand this. What the question is with respect to. There is a myth about patent. The myth is that if I get a patent, I can commercialize it, or someone is gonna buy it basically. And I would say we have to thank the movie Three Idiots, wherein we have Chatur Ramlingam, who comes down to meet Fonsu Kwangdo to sign that multi-million-dollar deal. People feel that once I get a patent granted, someone is gonna give you money. No, wait a minute. The patent filing is one aspect and commercialization is completely different. If your product or if your patent has certain value, commercial value, because anyway everything is in public domain, right? Your patent application, your patent is in public domain. If someone needs it, they are definitely gonna approach you. You don't need to uh, flash it like I have a patent and I need funding. No, that's not the way it is. I would say commercialized basically. We need to understand the very particular requirement, or what does it mean by IP. These are negative rights. The only you are getting monopoly, so, but then still you can't commercialize because you have to go through the FDA route for your taxol preparation. FDA the CDSC or DCJ has to approve it. For that you need lot of funding actually, right? And why would someone do that? Be it a big MNC or be it a incubation center, why would they put the money unless they evaluate and understand that there is a commercial value? I think this is one of the myths, which is, with respect to the patent system. Yeah.
Okay, Suneet Mantri is asking, are you still coaching students? I think he's asking you because we have a patent agent course in our platform. If so, could you please let us know your next batch to expect it to begin?
Uh, I'm not sure whether it's a question for me or
Okay,
you,
okay, okay,
because for
okay.
me, yes, we are providing, and rather, since you mentioned, we have got more than 150 students qualifying in last 5 years. Rather, in last 2 years, we had the AR1 from the PAE classes that we are running. This year as well, we conducted the batch, and since the exam is over, actually, now, of course, it's just the Viva was pending basically. But then, as I understand, Turnip as well, provide the PAE coaching as such, So, for the next exam, for sure, Sunitji, you can either get connected to me or Dr. Rahul for sure, as per your requirement.